Welcome to Cooking with Jess. Today we're going to make vegan pad thai. Not only is this vegan, but this is soy free and gluten free. That's very important for me and my household. If it is for you, follow along. Here's the thing, right? So I don't always use tofu. I'm really not like into it too much, but I found a soy-free tofu. If you know about tofu, you know that tofu comes from soybeans. So how is it that this is a tofu that's soy-free? So it's made out of fava beans. I went ahead and I prepped that ahead of time just for the sake of sparing some time in the video. But what I did was I got the package and followed the instructions pretty much, which is just to take out as much water as you can. And I tossed it in some rice flour, which is also gluten free, as opposed to using cornstarch. Sometimes a lot of recipes call for cornstarch, but I like to use rice flour. It pretty much gives it like a little crust, just a little crust on things that you want to coat, right? So I added some, this is another find that I found, a no soy. I'm laughing because I'm like, there's all this mention about soy free, but the name is no soy. So why would we call it so? Anyway, soy free, a no soy, soy free soy sauce. Anyhow, so tossed the tofu, the soy-free tofu, and no soy sauce, as well as some rice vinegar. And at the end of that, then I coated it with the rice flour. Put it in the oven, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and I tossed it another 15 minutes and it came out like this, right? So it's going to be nice and crunchy. This is a firm texture one, not extra firm, but either way, it's firm now, which is what I wanted. So that's step one. Uh, we can do a lot of these things simultaneously, but just to prep ahead again for the sake of the video, I just went ahead and I chopped all the veggies up and I made a pad thai sauce. So in this bad boy, we have all types of things. I haven't started up yet, so that's why it's separating. But there's fresh lime juice in here. There's what else did I put in here? I put in the no soy, soy-free soy sauce. You see where I'm going with this. But I put that in there and we added some heat in there. We added all type of wonderful flavors. Now you definitely can get a store-bought version. We also added in some nut butter. That's what you're seeing here. That's kind of like dripping off the spoon. You see that? And I prefer to make homemade sauces if I can. If I can, I don't always have the opportunity to do it as far as ingredients or the time. So I'm okay with store bought. But I said, you know what? I have an opportunity to make it, so let me make it and let me see how it turned out. And I think it's going to be pretty good. I can smell, what is that? That's the rice vinegar. And I can smell also some of these veggies off to the side, but I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be so good. I'm not even going to taste it. I just think it's going to be okay. In the meantime, we want to make sure that we have this pot set up so that we can go ahead and start with our rice noodles. And since the noodles are made out of rice, these are actually pad thai noodles that are made out of rice. Because of that, and it's going to sizzle just a little bit because I had it on already. And of course, I use my electric tea kettle because the water's already hot, which makes life so much easier for me because it helps to speed up the process. So that is always on deck for me when I need to make or have some kind of hot water. Either I'm adding it to stews or soup or sauce or something that I need to just stretch it a little bit. If it's a hot sauce, soup, or stew, then it's great to have that water already hot instead of waiting for it to, waiting for that temperature to build. So I have this on 3. We're gonna turn this up all the way to max because we want to get this boiling. And while I'm making this, we're also gonna put this guy on, have him on 2. We're gonna just turn it up to 3, and I'm going to add some grapeseed oil and just a very little bit of grapeseed oil. I'll show you what I mean when I say a little bit, because a little bit means a lot to different people, right? So let's say a tablespoon. Let's say a tablespoon and a half. And I say that because I'm not using a wok. So I want to make sure that we have enough oil that our fruits that do we have fruits in here? We don't have any fruits. No, we just got veggies. So we want to make sure that our veggies are able to move around freely because we don't want anything to stick and we don't want anything to burn. So we let that warm up. We're at 3. We are officially at 3. And I know the pot was already warm, so that will help. The main thing really is to get this water, get it to where it needs to be so we can put in these pad thai noodles. And they look like this if you haven't seen them before. All right, so first here, we're going to start with our ajo. Isn't this plate pretty? Like, let's just take a pause and just celebrate all those colors. Wonderful. All right, so we have 2 cloves of ajo. I'm going to try to go pretty fast with this because um, we still want to make sure that we have not only enough time to make sure that we mix everything up really good so that all these flavors they marry really well, but you don't want to burn anything, especially ajo. I cannot take it. You can't take it. That bittery smell and the taste, like when ajo burns. Oh gosh, can't take it. Mm-mm. So it's starting to sizzle, which is good, right? That's like my personal clock that's telling me, listen, sweetie, you better start moving a little faster because we want to make sure that we get everything. And we want to make sure we get everything that's not burned. So we're going to move quick. So we got that. We got our garlic. We're going to add just a little bit of our scallion, aka green onion. Why are there 2 names for this one thing? I don't know. Never looked it up. I wasn't that curious to find out, but it's always interesting because I know that I remember when I was younger, like I was always told it was scallion. And the only way that I knew that it was called something else was in the grocery store where I would see it marked as green onion. So I thought, well, this must be some different type of scallion because it's not the regular one. I it just was always odd to me. I don't know. I don't know why, what that was about, but either way, it is the same thing and it all tastes wonderful to me. So I'm going to move that around. Everything is looking good. Thank you. Nothing is sticking. Nothing is. Oh gosh, we lost. Somebody jumped out of the party. Why? I'm trying to move fast. That's the problem. We don't need these limes. This is for later. I thought it looked cute, so I put it on the plate, but realistically, we're not using that. All right, so we got that. So we got our ajo, we got our green onions, and we are going to move it on. Come on, baby, get in there. Boom. All right. Now I'm going to add Ginibre. And what is that? What is that, you asking me? This is ginger. I'm like doing this and the smell. Oh my gosh. Drives me crazy. This, what I did was I just used a fine grater and I grated up about, I think it said like a teaspoon of ginger. We're gonna add that. I'm ready for this array, this aroma. I know it's gonna give like, what are you doing in that kitchen? What is happening? Let me slow down just a little bit because I don't want none of this escaping the party. You gotta stay in, please. Everybody. Oh, yeah. So I'm over here checking too. We want to make sure that this water is not bubbling, but I don't know if you can see all that steam that's just like it's building. And I think with this particular This pad thai noodles, it says that it's going to take about 7 minutes. So the goal is while we're doing all of the sauteing with the veggies and getting and building like all this flavor over here, that we're also cooking the noodles so that we can just marry everything together at the end. And we do not have to waste any time with using a microwave to warm anything up, because once it's done, everything's going to be nice and warm, hot. If you like it, that's up to you. And you can enjoy your dinner quickly. This smells amazing. Who knew like ginger, fresh ginger? I'm not talking about in polvo. I'm not talking about powdered. I'm talking about fresh ginger and green onions, scallion would smell so good with ajo. Like this alone is already like this is a wonderful base just to start building. Ooh, yeah, it just hit me like a little that that ginger. Wow. Okay, so we got that. I think we're good to start adding some more things. We're not gonna use the cilantro until the end, so let's go ahead and take that off the plate. But we are gonna add these peppers. So I have one red, one green, and one carrot. Julienne, let me tell you something. I am not a skilled a skilled professional when it comes to chopping and all this wonderful stuff, right? So I think it looks nice, right? It wasn't perfect, but it looks really nice. And the colors, the colors, mira, mira esto, it's so beautiful. You see, let me stop playing around because things trying to pop out, and we don't got time for that. We don't got time for that. And I want this is going to probably cook for about another 7 minutes or so. And I'm throwing in seven because it could be a smidgen over five. I don't know how much, but I don't think this is going to take 5 minutes because we got to break down these carrots, okay? Even though they are julienne, or they're like cut to like matchsticks. They are they're still relatively, they're hard. And we do want to have a little bit of bite, but we don't want to crunch when we're eating the pad thai. So I'm just gonna let this sit just for a little bit because I want it to cook. I don't want to just keep like messing with it, messing with it, messing with it, and it's not allowing the pot to do what it's supposed to, like give it that heat so it can break down. So while that's happening, we're gonna leave that there. I'm trying to make sure that my ginger is not touching the bottom because I really don't want it to burn. I really don't, but I need to stop because I also don't want anybody else leaving the party because this is gonna be so wonderful. It smells so good. Wow. Okay. This is looking pretty. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? So it doesn't look like it's separated as much like when I first started. So we're just gonna lightly keep moving it around so that it's everything gets everything gets mixed in well together. Because eventually what we're going to do is we're going to pour this sauce. Well, first we're going to get these noodles popping. Let me do that. So while the noodles are cooking, and I see more steam. So I think we're good. I think we're good to go ahead and put this in. I'm not seeing the boil, but it's hot. You see that? It's giving me heat. Don't do that at home, okay? Please don't. But yeah, we hot. We are hot. And the water was already heated before when it came out the electric kettle. I just wanted to have more. I'm gonna give a little bit more time. Let me just confirm. Yeah, it says bring bring water to a boil. So let's listen to what they're saying because they know what they're talking about. I'm so like we don't want this to burn. So I don't want to jeopardize having this. Let's turn this down just to a three. Right now we were at four, so we're going down to three, and we are going to just move it around just a little bit. I'm not going to OD. I tend to just stir and keep moving. And we don't have to do that. Again, the goal is to break down these carrots. Then I would say right after that, the red and the green pepper, because those are, they're not as firm as the carrots are, but they could stand to cook down as well. They can. And we're gonna let them do that. And I'm gonna just put the spatula down because I don't need to mess with this anymore. I don't. But I want it to cook down, you know? All right, so that can stay there. There we go. All right. Are you pregnant? Congratulations. Listen, I know there's a lot of thoughts going through your head right now. You're probably thinking, damn, what do I have to do? What haven't I done? Is this going to be hard? Am I going to be able to do it? Yes, you can. I believe in you. You can do this. Take a deep breath, relax. This is a beautiful time in your life. It can go by quickly. So make sure you enjoy it. Make sure you embrace what's happening to your body. You are creating life. Yo, that's pretty real, okay? However, you have questions. We have developed a community for you to give you all the guidance that you need to make this journey as simple as possible. So go ahead and click that link in the description box below and join us. Join us in our community to help you make this a wonderful experience for you. All right, I'll see you there. So, what the plan is, we are going to get the noodles cooked. Once the noodles are cooked and drained, we're going to add the noodles to the pot here with all the vegetables. Then we're going to take the tofu, add that in. We're going to mix up and blend everything together. Then we're going to put this sauce on top of it, and we're going to mix and make sure that every strand, are these called strands? Every noodle, every piece of noodle is covered with the sauce. That's the goal. Like, I'm turning it up to 3.5 because I'm thinking now, like, we want to cook it down, but we don't want it to burn. But I think we're safe today. I don't think it's going to burn. I think that because also a lot of the water is coming out of the red and green pepper, that it is giving a little bit of, what's the word I want to use? It's giving a little bit of hmm, a barrier to the um, the veggies just touching the bottom of the pan or the bottom of the pot. Does that make sense? It's so it's not sticking at all. Look, it's moving very freely. It is. Nothing is sticking. There's no like when I'm moving this spatula at all. Everything is good. I just I'm hungry, and I'm gonna stop doing these when I'm hungry because that's just a setup, man. It's a setup, and I don't want to be. I don't want to make this and then I eat all of it, and then it's like I can't share it with friends. I can't share it with loved ones. Nobody gets to taste it. That's not cool. No, we want to share because sharing is caring. But I am hungry. So that's why I'm so concerned. Okay, I'm leaving it alone. And guess what I see what's popping over here? I see the bubbles. I see the bubbles and they are rapidly moving bubbles. They're not like bloop. No, they're moving. So that tells me I can go ahead and I can put in the noodles. So here's the interesting thing, right? Whenever I make just like pasta noodles, I I know for a fact this comes from my childhood. I can't tell you who introduced me to this. I can tell you why, but I can't tell you who because I really don't remember. But whenever I make pasta noodles, I always break it in half. It is like it is so just like it just happens subconsciously. I don't think about it. It just happens, right? And I know why I do it. I can't like recall like where I learned it from, but that's all about, you know what? If you break it in half, That's 2 times the pasta. That's more food. And then there will be more for sharing because sharing is caring. But we're not doing that today, if you notice. I just put it right in the water, and I'm just helping it to go down into the water so it will cook evenly, and it will cook in this 7 minutes that it says it's going to take, because we also want to be aware of what's going on over here. Ooh, I see some pretty little bubbles around the red pepper. So that's a good sign. It's not burning, it's just it's breaking down. And some more of that water is coming out. So that's really good. But I want to make sure that the noodles, we're moving them around just a little bit because I don't want them to stick. These are rice noodles. And because of that and the shape, if we just let it sit here, they will clump together. How do I know that? Because I live a gluten-free life. And because of that, a lot of the pastas that I make in different shapes, right? So we're talking spaghetti, we're talking penne, macaroni, stelline, fush. I'm not even gonna try it. Many different pastas, but all of them are always gluten free. And because of that, I've had experience, especially with the spaghetti, because the littles over here, they look at me like, you can be fancy all you want to be with these little pasta shapes, honey, but we just eating spaghetti. We don't want no fettuccine, we don't want no linguine. It's not spaghetti. So I just learned to pick my battles, and I just buy the spaghetti. But with that, I if I don't stir it, and this doesn't have to be like continuously, but I can't just leave it and then walk away for the 5 to 7 minutes that it takes for it will definitely clump. And then that's when the eye rolls come in like, what is this? I don't like this part. Mind you, didn't even taste it. I don't know. What is it? So we're picking battles here, and we're making sure that we're moving around the rice noodles, because especially like the brands do make a big difference. I realize that the different brands of rice noodles. So some can give you like this soggy kind of texture. Others, they'll be firm, but it'll be like a little too firm for me. Or and I guess what the term is, it'll be a little too al dente for me. I don't need the. I just yeah. Not a fan of the al dente pasta. Like when it's a little too, like you gotta chew a little bit extra, and you might hit a little resistance when you're trying to bite down. Like nah, that is not for me. All right, guess what? I'm seeing that the carrots, they're definitely, so the color has changed a little bit. They're not as bright orange, so that's telling me that they're cooking down. Wonderful. And I'm ready for this to just sit for like another minute. I'm not gonna mess with it and let it break down a little further because nothing's sticking, nothing's burning. I smell that ginger like full force. That's the first thing. I'm gonna let that sit just for a little bit, and we're gonna go back and see what's going on with this pasta. See, as long as we're moving it, it's moving. Because this is not, it's not regular. It's not regular, like a regular wheat pasta that you would get. So it's a little, gotta treat it a little differently. It's starting to break down though. That's the most importantly. We don't want to cook it all the way down because we're going to put it in this pot, and it's going to sit for about a minute while we're tossing it with everything else. And while we're doing that, I'm not turning the heat off. It's staying on. Right now, I have it on 3.5. I may bring it down a little bit. It just depends because as we keep adding, once we add the tofu and then we add the sauce, it might bring the temperature down a little bit, but it's still on. And since it's still on, that means that everything is still cooking. So I don't want to cook it too much that it does not, that once we put it in this pot, that it's going to overcook, and then it's just going to change the texture of it. And it's not going to be as great as it can be. Let's make it great. Let's do that. Let's make it great. taste it and see where we're at. I still feel like it's moving. So I think we're pretty good at. I'm just gonna take one because I want to see where we at with that. See how this is sticking? Oh Lord, they're coming out the pot. No, baby, no. All right. See all this? Why y'all holding? You see this? They're like friends. Like, no, don't take my friend. That's so sweet. Oh yeah, this is not ready. If you know, look at this. Do you notice how? So remember before it was like holding on to the friend. This is the difference, right? This is not regular, just like regular pasta noodles. So we got to treat it differently. So this is telling me it likes the heat. That's good. I like the heat too. But it just means it's not ready. And we're on max. Like I did not drop the temperature. I didn't do anything to that on a pasta. But just look how it reacted. Look how stiff it is now. Look at that. Isn't that something? I don't know if it's gonna stand up, but you see where I'm going with this. That's amazing. Look at that. That's interesting. We're not putting that back in the pot. Wow. So yeah, I find it's trial and error with these gluten-free pastas. You know, I think it's still going to come out good when we mix it here because again, it has the heat and it looks like it's taking the shape or it's being more pliable because of the fact that it has this heat. There we go. Look at carrots. All right, green pepper and red pepper is all. We're moving. We're moving. They're not like stiff. They're a little got a little sway to them. So that's good. So that means when we bite it, it's not again, we don't want mushy. That's not what we're going for. We want it to have a little bite, not crunch, but just a little resistance when you're biting down with these vegetables. So that's good. All right, let's see what's going on here now. Has anything changed? How are you feeling? Have you and your friends decided that you're just gonna stay together? You're gonna go over here. I just want to see. It looks to me like it's getting softer. Let me get one more and see what's going on. I might be a gangster. So really what you're supposed to do is drain this, then rinse it with cold water so it stops the cooking. I might be a gangster today and just like jiggle so that the water falls off and just put it in here because I want to get it in this mixture quickly. Like I said, I'm hungry. So let's see. Listen, these friends are the kind of friends you need in your life. They just holding on. Like, don't let him go without me. Definitely softer. Definitely softer. So I think this is to me, this is al dente. Not the kind I like, but like when you read in a package to cook your pasta al dente. And because I know it's gonna go in here, I wanted to I think we're good. It's a little chewy, man. It's a little not chewy. It's a little like it's undercooked. That's what it tastes like to me. Just a little. Ooh, that ginger. Still hitting. This ginger is relentless, man. That's why I like fresh ginger. You know, the jengibre, which is ginger. Jengibre and polvo. All right, fine. If you want to use the powdered stuff, okay. But the fresh, listen, I've talked about this before with like basil. I'm not a big fan of dried basil, but give me fresh basil, it's a whole different experience. To me, truthfully, it does not taste the same to me at all. And I will pick fresh basil over dry basil all day. I'm more of a I like oregano a lot more, but yeah, it's just so interesting to me that the difference between the dried and like the fresh version, same thing with the jengibre. I mean, that's all I keep getting from this. Like, I could smell some of the other little, like, the undertones, the pepper, especially the green pepper. I could smell it, but that ginger just comes right up in your face like, you see I'm here. Do not play with me today. I am here. You know I'm gonna add a little punch to this, so get ready. You got some pepper in here, but you also got some ginger in here, so it's gonna be on. I think this is ready now. I'm just gonna taste just because. Why not taste? Taste your food. Know what's going on. Don't just keep dumping stuff and then you don't know what is what and what it could use more of, or where most importantly, what it could have used less of. Because now you've already dumped it in. And don't dump nothing in. Right? Take your time. That's it. We're done. Let me turn that off. We're done. I'm gonna be a gangster. And I'm not gonna strain it. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in here. Oh, it's done. And what a difference it makes. What a difference. Like that little what, maybe 2 minutes I was talking? That made a huge difference in just the flavor of the noodle too. So thank you for that. All right, here we go. Now I tend to get really excited. We're gonna use that word. Okay, you see that? When I am trying to put something in a pot or a pan and make sure that we get everything in there and that we're not losing anybody. We came together, we leave together. That has always been my motto. Don't play these games. Disappear and I don't know what happened to you, and then I gotta explain to somebody. I don't know. I mean, she said she was gonna do this, and I don't know. You didn't hear from her? Like, no, 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 no. Never have I ever. Okay, never. We come together, we leave together. That's it. All right. So I'm just gonna move this around because I don't want the. I don't want this to stick, and it's trying to give me sticky vibes, and we not doing that. So I'm gonna move super quick now. Okay, as fast as I can without anything falling out because I can't take it. So I'm dropping the temperature on this. We're gonna go all the way down to. We're gonna go to 1. Why not? We're gonna go to 1 because it's still gonna keep the heat from the pot. It's just gonna take a longer time to bring it down to 1. But we're not. It's not like an automatic shut off, So that looks good already. But I want that color from Pad Thai. That kind of like, that brownish color that we're gonna get from this sauce. Yeah, we don't got that much noodles in here. There's a lot of water, so I'm good. Let me get to the sauce. No, we're gonna get to the tofu. See that? Look at my little chopping skills. Ow. All right, yeah. Yeah. Now you could also add some more veggies to this. You can do broccoli. You can add some baby corn and whatever else tickles your fancy. Feel free. Feel free. All right, I want to put this sauce on. So I'll start it real quick and then boom. We might even reserve just a little bit on the side because I want to see what it's going to, if I need to add more. Again, we check now, not throw everything in there and then we got to figure out like, damn, that was like a little too much. I could have chilled on that. No, 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 no. A little bit. Mix up, mix up, mix up. See what what is it looking like? Is everything coated? Do we need more? Do we need to halt? Don't add nothing else. What do you need to do? Take a look. Cooking is about not only what things smell like, what it looks like. Of course, what it tastes like. But use your ears, Something sounds like it's sizzling and it shouldn't be sizzling, then we need to adjust heat. Something sounds like I don't hear nothing, ain't doing nothing. All right, we need to adjust. All right, so I'm looking at this and I'm seeing like over here, we have that sauce on the noodles, not so much over here. So I'm going to mix just a little bit more or fold. That's probably a better term, right? I'm folding it. And if I'm not seeing any more coating of the sauce, then I'm just going to add some more. And guess what? We have more to add because we reserved just a little bit. It wasn't that much. I reserved some. Also for people who really like sauces, maybe they want to have some on the side so they can add more to their meal, or they want to use it as a dipping sauce for like spring rolls or egg rolls or something. You have options. You want to save some for another day, maybe a few days, maybe not. I wouldn't say too long. Maybe to be cautious, no more than 3 days, just because we don't want anything to turn or go sour or spoil and make anybody's tummy hurt. But I think that looks good. Everything, I'm not seeing any like noodles have that like pearl look that it had before. It's looking pretty much like everything is covered in the sauce. And that's what we want. All right. And all the time I was doing this, we were on level one. The heat level is what I'm speaking about. So it's still cooking down, very slowly because the heat is low, but I know I'm ready to eat. So what are we talking about? Hold on. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. We don't need that anymore. Okay. All right. Guess what? I got a bowl because I'm ready. Okay. Let's see. I got fancy. I'm going to use my little chopsticks. Now, what I don't have, look, we don't want to use this one. I got all that stuff on it. Do I have a fork? That I don't have, but we got one here. We sure do. All right, let's see. Let's see. And we want to get some of that tofu. We're going to get the carrots, and we didn't get red pepper. We're going to get some red pepper. And we're just going to do just a little bit of the noodles and see how all that came. Now, this got some heat. I already know because I can smell it. And we know we got that ginger in here as well. That's a different type of heat, but it's still, you know what? We didn't get it all pretty. We got to put a little lime. Just a smidgen. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. That's it. That's it. We just tasting. Just a little quick taste. Oh, okay. Number one, it's hot. Here's what I mean. The spice, but the noodles are so like, they're so soft. Shout out to rice noodles. That heat is right here and right here. That ginger is still in the front. It's traveling back. Tofu is crunchy. And I baked it, right? We didn't deep fry. We don't need all that oil. For what? We need oil for in your life. Bake it. If you even want to use it. As I said before, I don't, we don't really, I'm just not really like a tofu fan. We'll talk about it another day. How about that? Okay. Yeah. Try this. It's really good. You should. I'm gonna eat some more. But try it. This sauce made the world of a difference, though. Right there. Right. Try it. Let me know what you think. This is good. It's spicy, but it's good. All right. See you in the next one. There's nothing left.